Special good morning to everyone. We're talking about to our listeners, our viewers, wherever you are around the world, and you tuned in to, of course, Classic Radio and viewing us via social media platforms. Also, good morning and welcome. Once again, I'm your host, GT. Are we in for a treat this morning? Yes, it's Friday, and it's Friday the 17th of July, and the option for you is to calling this morning. We have the lines open to you, giving you that opportunity to, of course, express your views and concerns in terms of in relation to what's going around with you in your community. Of course, that opportunity will be certainly offered to you this morning. 435-2041. Double options as usual for you to call in, whether it's via the WhatsApp, or you could also, of course, call in via the direct line, 435-2041. Open line opportunity this morning. Let's hear from you this morning. Certainly all airs. Not giving you any particular subject matter that we're going to be diving into. You never know. One of you callers could, of course, create a particular subject matter that others may have some interest in and making a contribution towards. 435-2041. The lines are opened here on, of course, today's edition of To The Point. Let's go to the phone line. We do already have our first caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Morning, GT, and morning to the listeners and the viewers.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, I want to charge you a little. I think I believe you didn't remember on the 14th was the anniversary of Emily, so you probably couldn't make any announcement. But I think we must have these.
That totally slipped me. Seriously, sir. Totally slipped me.
Already, so
totally slipped.
Anyway.
Totally slipped.
But my concern is how naive we are, the people. You know, when I make effort to learn what is happening and to keep in touch with what is happening in the world, and then I hear in the morning where we got to dating information that is really propaganda from the international media that is hiding the real situation in the world. It is predicted, GT, that if things continue as it is or escalate, oil price can go up to 200 US a barrel. And if that happens, can we begin to imagine what would happen to us? I think this is where our application should be right now. How are we going to prepare ourselves, to shield ourselves? Having had serious experience in the past, although this generation hasn't had it, 1973 to 1974, which was our own doing. No, this one is not our own doing. How are we going to prepare? We already have a situation that people are uneasy in doing the agriculture because PDR larceny, people stealing, and I mean, people are doing all kind of negative things to one another. So how are we going to galvanize the nation to confront or respond to what is inevitable? Only in this part of the world they have people not discussing and not trying to figure out what would happen to us. We're still hoping that heaven would come from Washington and Ottawa and probably London. And all these places are cracking and falling apart. So I think we should, yesterday I shared some information to a group I was meeting with, and they said it's a good idea, we should have a national conversation. And we really need leadership here in that. Leadership, and I say leadership, I don't just mean the government. I mean from all of us. Leadership, how are we going to ensure none of us go hungry, none of us get sick, notwithstanding that we are facing serious health issues with cancer and diabetes and hypertension and so on. We need to attend to that, but we are having all kinds of facts everywhere. But we have to remember, when after the carnival over, we still have a nation to continue in existence. And GT, please forgive me. I want to challenge the government. Take a little challenge the government. How can you talk about being green, the blue and the green economy, and dealing with the champion of climate change, and you are hell-bent on going into fossil fuel? ENIV, a New Zealand consultant who spoke to some of our Grenadian leaders, including me, in 2007, said the last thing we should seek to go into right now is fossil fuel. There are other things we can do. Leave the carbon where it is, and let us find other way. Let us be more creative. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you. Thank you so much for your contribution in terms of breaking the ice this morning and getting things started off. 435-2041. The lines are open to you, listeners and viewers, this morning. And certainly a great way to kick off, of course, with that caller there in terms of course, what are we thinking? What are we thinking in terms of moving forward, in terms of the situation that we are in the world today? Are we ready to, of course, for the challenges that is ahead of us? Are we ready for that as a people? Let's go back to the phone line. We lost that caller there, 435-2041, 435-2041. May I remind you also, we have the option of you calling in via the WhatsApp to the same number. If you have never done so and you may be a first-time caller, you prefer the WhatsApp 435-2041, just add it to your contact, and of course you can give me that call and you will certainly get the opportunity to go live. We do have another caller. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, GT. How do you do?
I'm doing great. How are you this morning?
Our thanks. I'm trying to say good morning to Dr. Keith Mitchell and Mr. Mimpie and Miss Kate. Have a nice day.
So, same to you. Have a good one yourself. All right? 435-2041, 435. We're moving down to just approximately 7 minutes or so after the 9 o'clock hour this morning. We're going until it's 10 a.m. today. And then we take a wrap for today's edition of To The Point. 435-2041. Lines are open to you, listeners and viewers, once again. And, as I mentioned, the first caller did say a whole lot. Are we ready? Are we ready for the challenges that's ahead of us right now, knowing what is taking place in other parts of the world? Are we thinking along the path that is it going to affect us seriously? Sometimes you see the behavior of others that you're wondering if that is really of a concern to them. But I think we should be concerned because, the conditions or whatever happens there always seem to trickle down to us. Sometimes it comes along slow, but then the impact is felt, sometimes that and ways that we may not, of course, always be ready to deal with. 435-2041. Open line this morning here on today's edition of To The Point. It's Friday, the 17th of July. Good morning to those of you who are, of course, moving around, maybe on the different areas around the island. Good morning to you. Drivers along the nation's roads, good morning. We had some showers this morning, so I beg of you to drive along with that due care and attention. When there are areas where the roads may be wet still. And when you drive along on wet roads, your friction is going to reduce. So I beg of you to drive along with that due care and attention. We go back to the phone. We do have another caller. Caller, your life. Good morning. Welcome.
JT, morning. How the weekend treat is shaping up with you, my friend?
Well, I'm doing good today. When the weekend taps in, then I will figure out how it's doing. So all for now, I'm focused on today. How are you this morning?
Mine is fair to find with a few showers in and between.
All right.
JT, what I have to talk about is this expenses in terms of the kind of a fees that the doctors charge for the tests, like mammograms, prostate, cancer, dialysis, things for your stomach and all these things. And I would like to suggest to the government that at least they regulate those prices. There are certain things, just as how certain food basket items that you could regulate or zero VAT. I think that you could do the same thing with these services. I have to do a procedure on I have to do a procedure twice a year. Just one procedure. Well, the procedure is $1,600, so I have to do it twice a year. The average Grenadian, who could afford that? So I am calling on the government. There are certain things that you could regulate, and put a cap on it, right? Because I think to do with the lawyers and so on, whatnot with the lawyers, they have a certain amount of fees where you could charge from, not what to charge, fees to charge, right? I think so. So is it the same way that I could do that? I'm not saying the doctor's fees to regulate it, but I'm talking about the services, things like mammogram, things like cancers, things like dialysis. I think it's time the government step in and do something about it. It is ridiculous where people getting $1,600 a month. I mean, twice a year for me, like $3,200. Where people getting that money? And then again, the oil prices keep on going up. I think that they should still do something about it because in Barbados, what Mia Motley, the most honorable Mia Motley said, Mayor Motley said no big set of independence celebration and all this fanfare, like what we had here, drones and all this kind of a thing. She said, all of that stop for this independence if I get her right. Because she said she will divert the money and all these things into electricity for people to pay reduced bills, etc. These are the things that people must be you have to be looking at. You know, so I'm calling on the government with these private places. Come on, man. All you have to step down and clamp down on these people.
All right. Thank you. I mean, I certainly hope that will be looked into. I just said I'm not sure if there's any regulations that governs the whole doctors and so do their pricing. Maybe I could certainly get some information on that and share it the next time. But it's interesting to know. Thank you so much.
You could start somewhere.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
We do have another caller. Caller via the WhatsApp. You're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, GT.
Good morning, sir. How are you this morning?
I'm not too bad. I'm calling from the UK, but I'm Grenadian, obviously. Mm-hmm. From St. Andrews is my parish. You know, that's where I was born. Listen, you mentioned something about are we ready for the filter down of what's going on in different places with a filter down to Grenada. Let me tell you something. We are living in the last days, and everybody knows that. Man say the Bible is written over and over and over again. Well, let me tell you something. The man who write the Bible that predicts that in the last days such and such will happen and this and that will happen, right? It's happening now.
So you certainly believe, sir, that there's a last day to come?
No, I don't mean the last day like it's going to end. Sometimes when people use the word the last day, they don't mean like tomorrow, it's going to be the last day, It means that as we go on in life, a lot of things will show up in human face and you will never believe this thing could ever happen on earth.
All right.
You understand?
All right.
That kind of thing, and that's the prediction of the last days. It'll hit us and you'll think, no, I never thought, and this is what, look, it started already. You understand? So what my prediction is, look, we've all sinned, some more than some. But let us start loving one another, and looking out for one another. You know what I mean?
That certainly is a good way. That certainly is a good way to start it. The love for each other.
And maybe we could turn this thing around. I don't know.
You never know.
Because we have destroyed this world as human beings, right? Listen, you have a blessed weekend, and God bless you, and God bless the people of Grenada, and God bless the world. Okay?
And the same in return to you, sir. Have a good one. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Hi, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jason.
And your followers this morning. Judy, I've been hearing a lot of and seeing a lot of stuff in the media about transformation and whether this country is going through any transformation. The word transformative or transformational has become a buzzword. But people don't seem to understand what transformation means. It means change, yes. But a transformation is significantly different from a revolution. People are confusing transformation and revolution. Now, a revolution is a very disruptive thing. You break, you burn, you throw things down. Some people get hurt as collateral damage. Some people are hurt for the rest of their lives. Some things can never come back. But when you're having a transformation, it's a more incremental thing. And the key thing about the transformation is that the mindset of the people has to change. With a revolution, you don't care about people's mindset. You suspend the Constitution, as we had in our case, during the revolution. People have to comply. They are forced. People are arrested. People are taken out of their jobs. And that's what a revolution is. That's not what a transformation is. Transformation is gradual. The people have to be a part of it. For instance, look at the public service. During the revolution, there was no public service commission. The Constitution was suspended. You either comply, you get transferred, you get removed. Most of the folks who did most of the heavy lifting were from overseas, Jamaica, St. Lucia, St. Vincent. They brought in. That's what a revolution is. But when you have a transformation, people have to understand it's painstaking. You have the Constitution. You have the Public Service Commission. People may be sabotaging you. You can't dismiss them because the Public Service Commission is there. Your hands are tied in many ways. And that's good. But I hope people understand. When people say, oh, where is the transformation? Transformation has taken place. If you look at every sector, went to the hospital, there is transformation. There's transformation in agriculture. It's happening. It's happening gradual, incremental, and slowly. But that's what transformation is. But the most important thing is the people, the mindset. And this is stubborn. This is stubborn. And unless we can get that part of it done, it will be slower than it should. But I believe, and I'm convinced, that a lot of transformation has taken place in the last 4 years, and you have to give credit where credit is due, because the obstacles that are there, which won't be in a revolution, are very, in some cases, almost insurmountable. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We do have another caller. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning, sir. How are you going?
Doing great. How are you this morning?
I'm trying to be good like you.
All
but
right.
I just want to make 2 quick points. One of those on Caribbean community development. A few years ago, when Eric Williams and Burnham and Buster Manton and them was in office, they come up with rules and regulation called CARICOM. And if you look within these rules and regulation, you will see that the agreement reached was for the benefit of Caribbean people, where a Grenadian could have take fruits, food, and go to Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, or any Caribbean country. Do not pass through the same custom broker business as sells fruits go down. They have a CARICOM jetty where they go on the wharf and they sell the thing and they go back, and they go back in the same week they both go back. I think that such advantages was not taken care of by Caribbean people. How Caribbean should help one another develop in different ways rather than taking things from abroad. And when I look at Trinidad and Tobago has oil, Venezuela has oil, Grenada has oil, Guyana has been developing, Barbados want to develop. And we cannot assist our own community in selling the oil at a reasonable price so that our community develops. What we as a CARICOM community, but what we could sit down and do is to, because of some money, we have to target at the world price that make everything expensive. And these people sell their same oil to Caribbean people. That is an economics to me that does not make sense. So instead of helping your community develop and develop with more than one thing, it's not just agriculture. It could have been shipping. You know how much CARICOM boats that could have been transporting foodstuffs from Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago to Barbados if we had gotten these things right. But all of us want to import things from America, and some of the things that we import may not be in the best interest of our health. My second point is this. I heard Miss Anne-Marie said something about the cost of living. I quite agree with her this morning. The cost of the healthcare system must be attacked by government. Too much of doctors are not for the benefit of the state. Because I know what I'm talking about. I cannot get into details. There was somebody close to me that got in an accident. It was not his fault. He went to the doctor in the hospital, and the doctor had to give him, when we went to the lawyer, I myself went to the hospital to get a medical report to bring to the lawyer, and it was told to me that we had to pay $1,000. I had to call the doctor, and that money is not going to the state. Some of the doctors are taking people in their own private place. Government increased their salary of $5,000 a month. They're taking people from their own private place, taking the money, send them to the hospital to get the operation. They come in and operate them. They're using government facilities at their own interest. And poor people cannot get the best of health after they pay so much tax in the country. I think something ought to be done with the cost of living, especially the way healthcare. Man, yesterday I come out on a fella sitting by me in the bus, and he's telling me, he said, boy, I'm a farmer. My wife had to take 2 operations on her eyes, $9,000 for one. She could only take one, and the other eye is suffering, closing down. She can't get the other one. And these things going on in our hospital. So I think somebody should address that, GT. Have a nice day. And
you too, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Very interesting contribution from you. We do have another caller. Caller, your life. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Telesford. Greetings.
Good morning to you, sir. Same to you.
Very interesting comments coming out there this morning, Mr. Telesford. But I want to revert to your penultimate caller. And I'll begin, frankly, looking at the word form, F-O-R-M. Origin Latin. So we're going to talk a bit of linguistic morphology or etymology of words. Form can be modified in English language by using prefixes. R-E, re, T-R-A-N-S, trans, D-E, D. You see where I'm coming from? Transformation is a result. Let's get it straight. Result. What you see, an end product. Reform has to take place before, and the caller did admit it, that we have to begin with the mindset. But repeating things here and there every time a new administration comes in does not reform except you go to the foundation. And of course there is deform to spoil everything. What we're doing is deforming. We are not transforming because we have not decided appropriately to take the steps of reforming. And to reform Grenada means that we must move. We have to, not more than must. We have to move away from the old style, the old colonial style, which the so-called leaders of this country have adapted and studied and know how to twist and turn to continue to pervert the state of affairs in this country through their sleaze and malfeasance. Let's get it straight. We have to reform, and reforming Grenada means a new constitution. There we will get at the mindset of the people, because when the people sit and discuss through a constituent assembly the future, identifying all our deficiencies, irregularities, shortcomings in frank and serious discussion, reach into a state of concurrence and agreement. 100% it will never be, but as much as, and form a new chart, a new course for the future of the country. So let's stop bluffing the people. We have to reform before we transform. And I'm happy you admitted it there in your speech this morning, my dear brother. No transformation except there's a reformation of the minds and outlook of the people. Thank you very much for what is worth, Mr. Telesford. Do have a nice day.
Thank you too, sir. Have a good one. Hey, folks, we due for a break. Let's take it when we come back. We continue the conversation this morning. Stay with us. To the Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. We will be right back.
All Mass is back, and it's bigger and funnier than ever. St. George's Lions Club, Spice Mass Corporation and Grenlec present All Mass 2026 at the Grenada Boys Secondary School on Sunday, July 19th from 3 p.m. Bring the whole family for an afternoon of laughs, local entertainment, exciting prizes, and a special appearance by the Carnival Queen contestants. Tickets are $40 for adults and $15 for children. Available from any Lions or Leo member, Grenadian Optical, and Clear Vision. July 19th at GBSS promises humorous antics and infectious laughter for the whole family. All Mass, we not giving up. See you then. This advertisement sponsored by Demerara Mutual Life. I'm with Dem.
Come experience the spirit, strength, and beauty of Carriacou. Join us for the Carriacou Regatta Festival 2026, happening July 31st to August 2nd. Feel the excitement of thrilling boat races across our crystal clear water. Enjoy vibrant onshore activity, music, food, and pure vibe. This is more than a festival. It's resilience, culture, and unforgettable memories, all in one place. So gather your crew, bring your energy, and come sail into the celebration. Carriacou Regatta Festival 2026, anchored in tradition, sailing to tomorrow.
Parents, do you go to bed with the knowledge that your children are comfortably asleep in the next room? Or are they allowed to attend every FET advertised? You are responsible for the safety and well-being of your children, and it is your responsibility to know their whereabouts. Children should not be at adult events. Please guide your children, engage them in age-appropriate activities. Let us be spicy parents for this carnival season and beyond. S. Speak to your children about positive behavior. P. Pay attention to them at all times. I. Inspire good behavior in your children by also displaying good behavior. C. Check with your children. Always know their whereabouts. Y. You are responsible for your children. Maintain control to keep them safe. This is a message from the National Parenting Program, Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs.
GBN Massology is back. We're officially on the road to spice up the Carnage 3.0. And it all starts here. Live from GBN Studios every Friday at 1:30 p.m. Streaming across GBN platforms, bringing pure energy, culture, and spice man's vibes straight to your screen. Hosted by Charlton, powered by Graphic Sound System, featuring fresh faces and seasoned stars. Massology is what the culture takes center stage. WhatsApp 407-8458 now to secure your spot on Massology. And don't miss the repeat broadcast at 8:30 p.m. This is Massology, the heartbeat of Spice Mass. Don't miss it. Welcome back to our listeners. Welcome back to our viewers once again. It's To The Point, Classic Radio GBN TV. It's Friday, the 17th of July, within the year 2026. We have an open line for you today on today's edition, which means you listeners and viewers have the option of calling in, sharing your views and concerns. Let's go back to the phone line. We do have a caller via the WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, you're live. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, GT, and thank you. And how are you today?
Doing great. Doing great. What about you, sir?
I'm doing great, sir. Thank you very much for having me today, sir.
All right.
My point I want to make, I've been hearing people call in regards to price control, in regards to the medical facilities. It somewhat gives me, make me think and wonder that, there's a call for price control for food. There's a call for price control for the bus fare. There's a call for price control for the medical services and the testing and everything else. But there's no price control for builders. A builder can charge you whatever they want, whenever they want. They come to do a service on a building, be it plumbing, electrical. They can dictate what price they want to leave for you. And it doesn't matter. Just imagine somebody drawing a plan for a house, want to charge $13,000 and $15,000 for one plan, and all they do is literally use AutoCAD where they plug things in, and they get a plan popping out, and it's less than a day, less than an hour, and the price that pops up for you is $15,000 and $18,000 GT. Where does the labor coincide with what the price used or the time used I know that when an accountant comes to do auditing at a fund, there's a certain price per hour. A lawyer would charge you price per hour, but a builder doesn't have that restriction to charge you a price per hour. He can sit there and decide, well, what profit I want to leave with before he actually does the job. So he says, I want to leave here with $80,000, $90,000. And so what I've been recognizing is that all of this comes around to cause the cost of living as it is towards the Grenadian people, because everybody needs home to live. And if everybody needs home to live and there is no price control in regards to the services attached to the where a person lives, then actually everything else would mean that I would have to put up my price on this, on that, so that I can get the ability to stay as under a shelter. And it triggers back to meaning what really caused the price in the economy to drift upwards. Is it an external? Yes, there are external factors. I must indeed say, oil we don't have. A number of things coming in from imports, yes, they do. But also, we have to look at the factor, what causes the prices on the ground to go up. Because if a person needs to live and a person needs to do other things, then even the bus fare is under price control, but the builder has none. GT?
Thank you, sir.
We have to look at where it starts and where it ends.
I certainly think you have stirred up the conversation with a lot of folks are thinking. There are a lot of individuals who are thinking along the same line like you, but may not want to speak up about it in the manner in which you just did. But I certainly do understand where you're coming from.
Thank you, sir, and have a great
You too. Have a good one. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Welcome.
Good morning, GT.
Good morning to you, sir.
Sorry I was not able to get onto your program yesterday. The police was on yesterday, and I thought it was a better time to ask that question. But however, let me do ask it, and maybe the next time they come about, you can pose it to them. GT, I guess as much you will be aware that there is a law prohibiting the use of the paraphernalia, the garments of the military force in Grenada.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
What has become of that law? Has there been a rescinding of this law?
Well, not that I know of. Not that we have heard any course information thrown out in regulation to that.
I guess as much you are seeing the same thing that I'm seeing. With the people they're wearing jackets, they're wearing the long sleeves, the jerseys, they're wearing the pants, they're wearing everything that is of the military part of the police in Grenada. And I know there's a law prohibiting that. And my thing is, I've seen the stores on it. At one point, you could not have been coming with anything looking like camouflage. But I'm seeing even the stores now are openly selling those stuff. I would like you to find out if there are rescinding of the law, and if not, what has happened in terms of the enforcement of that law. Because it is very worrying to me from what I'm seeing in my eyes, and I guess as much you are seeing the same thing as well.
Thank you. Interesting contribution there, caller. And certainly you are correct in relation to that, because there were one time when the laws were passed in relation to that. If you were seen, I personally have noticed officers asking an individual to remove those particular garments they're wearing. By simply walking through and they saw you with it, they would tell you to remove it. But we see that as not as happening as it used to. We do have another caller. Caller via the WhatsApp. You're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Gigi. How you doing?
I am doing good. How are you this morning?
I am doing fine.
I'm happy to hear that.
Thank you. I want to talk about, with the callers that talk about the lawyers and stuff, GT from experience. Corruption in our justice system. It has always been, but it's first time I experience it. Hello?
Yes, I'm listening to you. I'm listening. Go right ahead.
Okay, I wasn't here. and corruption, more corruption in the law association with some of the lawyers and with those that I have experience with. GT, I went to court for suing somebody for defamation of character. The day of the court, while I sit down waiting, the lawyers on the other side, the lawyer on my side, they sent me to a room and demand stating the judge say, you had to do this and you had to do that. So you don't face the judge. And when you come out from, they make you a promise, you ain't see it yet. I was not happy. I went to the Attorney General because, you know, if you have problems with lawyers, you can take them to the, what is the name of the system there? The General, the Attorney General, Claudette Joseph, the Minister of Labor. She tell her secretary to tell me she don't want to see me, she don't want to talk to me, she don't want to have nothing to do with me. She haven't listened to me, and I'm talking facts. She haven't listened to me, she doesn't know my story. So I want to know, how come the Attorney General, Claudette Joseph, supposed to be representing the whole of Grenada, Carrico, and Petit Martinique, and when a citizen have a problem with the lawyers, she refusing to try to get an appointment, listen to you to know just what you have to say. You know what? I wanted to see the General Counsel, so I have to go through the procedure. And to go to the procedure, you have to get a date from the Supreme Court Registry. So Claudette Joseph, the Supreme Court Registry, Wilkinson and Hood, they team up, and Claudette Joseph supporting them, and they will never give me a hearing to go to the General Counsel to make my part, to explain myself. And this thing is happening over 4 years now. But I want to say that in closing, Claudette Joseph doesn't care nothing about nobody. And I will prove it. Hear my point. If I was in Claudette Joseph constituents, she would have listened to me and hear what I have to say. But because I'm not in her constituents, she refused. And she'd have listened to me because she won the vote, because she wanted to be a minister to do her own thing for her own personal gain. But let me tell you, I wrote a letter to her, you know. So it's not just word of mouth, and I have a copy.
Kola, of course, I'm going to add to wrap because I'm literally just here. We, of course, and all the others who are listening are literally just hearing your side of the story.
Yes.
I have no response to you in terms of that because I don't know the details of the back and forth in relation to this, and because it's not the first time you're calling in and complaining on that nature. But I really don't know the circumstances surrounding
justice, TJ. As long as I'm not getting justice, I still have to call because nobody is helping me. This matter needs to go to the CCJ, but nobody. It's a process. So I have to go through the General Counsel first, but they're not giving me a date to get a hearing. And I have facts.
Okay.
So as long as nobody responding to me and no lawyers not taking the matter, you know what they say to me? These lawyers don't sue lawyers. Lawyers don't go up to lawyers. Right. So I have to call and talk about it until maybe I get some assistance.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There's a lot of technicalities in this that I am, of course, not be able to respond to, so I will certainly let that be. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, GT. Thanks for having me.
Good morning to
I've
you.
heard this lady, I've been hearing this lady crying for quite a while. Maybe she needs to probably try a new lawyer, maybe one who would be sympathetic to her cause. If you didn't get through with 1, 2, 3, try next one. However, GT, my substantive point is, based on what one of the callers were talking about, with people wearing the military uniform or part of the military uniform, I quite agree. Is it a case where we are no longer seeing that as a problem? Is it that our law enforcement is no longer enforcing certain laws, or are we waiting for somebody to mistake criminals who dress in military uniform, commit some sort of crime, and then we're going to act? I also have concern about the ski mask that I see many of our young persons wearing. Why are we, I would really like to know, why are we importing those things, and why are we allowing our people to be wearing ski masks where all you can see is the person's eye? Please, I would like to know, are we waiting for people to start using ski masks to attack people? We don't know who is there. Are we waiting for things to escalate before? And I hope it doesn't, right? I love my peaceful nation. That's why I am calling with these concerns. Yes, GT?
Thank you. Thank you, caller. Appreciate your contribution this morning. Have a good one. We do have another caller via the WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, you're live. Good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes. In relation to the previous caller regarding the injustice of the legal system in Grenada, I also have a problem. I've had judgment over a matter I had in court over 15 years now, and I cannot get a resolution to the problem. My lawyers seem to be indifferent to my case, even though I won the case under his administration. I've been given the runaround here, there, and everywhere. Calling, cannot get an answer. We'll pass the message on. I spoke to him, and to tell you the truth, I was a little bit disrespectful in my frustration regarding my case. So something needs to be done about these lawyers who are taking people's money and not doing anything for their clients. It seems to be that they have an unwritten law among them that they would put all their heads together against their own clients. So I understand the lady's frustration, because I am a victim of the injustice in the Grenada legal system. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much for your contribution this morning. Folks, we're due for a break. Let's take it. And after this break, we get into the final segment of today's edition of To The Point. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.
Mobile and Sol bring you an unbeatable promotion this summer. From June 15th through July 31st, buy 4 quarts or 1 gallon of Mobile lubricant. What happens when you add Groovy, Power Soca, and Calypso all in one weekend? We get Sammy's Weekend. The most amazing part of the Spice Mass build-up comes to Progress Park, St. Andrew. A trio of competitive shows. Thursday, July 23rd from 8 p.m. The Brian Griffith Groovy semifinals. Friday, July 24th, also at 8 p.m. Dr. Trevor Friday Power Soca semifinals. And on Sunday, July 26th, They each give 100% to secure a place in the finals. 3 crowns at stake, 3 nights facing the judges, and 3 nights of thrilling the audience. Semis weekend, July 23rd, 24th, and Sunday the 26th. Progress Park.
Life doesn't stand still. It moves. It grows. It asks you to believe in what's next. Your first car. Owning your home. The business you build. The future you choose to invest in. Life moves in steps. When you're ready to take the next one, we're here to help you move forward with banking solutions designed for life. From vehicle financing and mortgages to education savings, credit solutions, and support for your growing business. Republic Bank, ready for life, every step.
GVN Massology is back. We're officially on the road to spice up the Carnage 3.0. And it all starts here. Live from GVN Studios every Friday at 1:30 p.m. Streaming across GVN platforms, bringing pure energy, culture, and Spice Man's vibes straight to your screen. Hosted by Charlton, powered by Graphic Sound System, featuring fresh faces and seasoned stars. Massology is what the culture takes center stage. WhatsApp 407-8458 now to secure your spot on Massology. And don't miss the repeat broadcast at 8:30 p.m. This is Massology, the heartbeat of Spice Mass. Don't miss it.
You wash the waves, you clean your room, you make up your bed.
Yes, mommy. I don't ever want to miss Uncle Toppy Kids Fest, you know. It's a free go-kart rides, free face painting, free horseback riding, and all the favorite cartoon characters will be there. Where are you? Plus Uncle Natty and Tonda, Uncle Kerry, Uncle Morty and Uncle Tara, Uncle Dash, Uncle Pee-Pee and Uncle Japki, Uncle Lava and Angelo, Uncle Khalifa and Happy Boy, plus Uncle Jello, and not forgetting my favorite Uncle Talpri. Saturday, July 18th, Monrouge Plainfield, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Admission. Kids $10 and adults is $20. It's the biggest kids event in Grenada every year, so how I gonna miss that?
Child, behave yourself, eh?
Mommy, if you don't bring me in there, I don't know what I gonna do it.
Welcome back to the listeners. Welcome back, viewers, once again. We're in the final segment of today's edition of To The Point. Just approximately 10 more minutes left. We still have time to entertain a few more callers. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're live via WhatsApp. Go right ahead, please.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Anybody having a problem with lawyers in Grenada, they would have to go to the General Legal Council, as I understand it, and the secretary to that organization is the registrar. So that's where the complaints have to be filed, the General Legal Council. And the chairman, I think, of that is Justice Rosalind E. Wilkinson. People have to fill the forms and put it in writing. So it's not necessarily the Attorney General. I just wanted to provide that information.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Lawyers, there is a form, there is a website, and you can go to that website, get the forms, fill out the forms, and submit it so that you can get action. glcgrenada.org. Whether or not they respond to you quickly, because I have sent email myself, and up to today I haven't received a response to my email. And that has been over 6 months now. But the person who's the secretary is the registrar of the Supreme Court, whoever is that person. Because, they have people who are acting and people who are in a prominent position. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, of course, your call. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number if you want to be part of today's edition of To The Point. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning and welcome.
Well, and thank you very much for answering my call. And the truth is, the subject matter this morning here, it makes me laugh because, frankly speaking, I'm 71. And my first lawyer, I Duncan, probably you may not know that man, or probably you may have never heard of him. But, I have had experiences with 18 lawyers in my 71 years on the island. It started out with, it has me laughing at the matter because I'm listening to people speaking and I'm wondering because they're telling the world what they're experiencing with these lawyers in Grenada here where I live. It's amazing that these lawyers are not listening. I may want to call them wolves in sheep clothing. They're leading the nation astray. They're not, one lawyer, after coming released from the Richmond Hill prison, and in January of 1983, a bit of property was sold in an illegal form. It wasn't done in accordance with the law of the land. It was privately auctioned. The man who running the bank manager called in a certain man and they switched paper and documents. It's really happening. And how I cannot get redress on this matter for all of this time. It's kind of confusing. And like somebody talk about, are we waiting until somebody go dress like something in some uniform and commit some crime or whatnot? I don't want to go down that track neither, But, boy, look, let me just leave it. People are, some people surprise me with the way they try to support this present administration and the way things are happening. I look out my window, it looks as if I'm the international role. But wait now, that's only on the left side. On the right side, the condition of the road, and what? I can't imagine what kind of behavior. And I hear people are supposed to be calling the government and asking them to do anything, because they have a moral obligation, a moral duty to perform, to take care of the citizens and the
I think we may have lost that caller there. Of course, his call seemed to have dropped out. We do have another caller via the WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, you're live. Go right ahead, please.
Good morning, GT.
Good morning to you.
I'm hoping that you hear me loud and clear.
Yes, I am certainly hearing you loud and clear. Go right ahead with your contribution, please.
Wonderful. I want to apologize for any little distraction in the background. Yes, but let me just say I applaud the government, especially the initiative that the Prime Minister has taken to now write the manifesto. The manifesto, as it is being done now, will be coming from the bowels of the people. But I want to take it a step further, and I want to say that we have to get to the foundation of our nation, and it has to go a step further, and that same effort that is being made to write the manifesto for political party to chart the way forward for the next coming years, it should be for the nation as well. Simply put, I'm echoing Citizen Rollo call that we should have an assembly, get the minds, get the ordinary minds of the people to write our own constitution. And listen, all of the things that the people mentioned this morning, it could be packaged within the Constitution. Because I've had experience with lawyers as well. But where is the redress? What law, our supreme law, the Constitution, is supposed to be addressing all of these issues? But where is the teeth? Where is the ability to bite in and to charge these lawyers and to to make them the penalty for violating and doing all of the, somebody refer to it as corruption, corrupt practices. Yes, corrupt practices. That is more appropriate. But if we write our constitution with the same thing, so we have now what is taking place, where they're going from constituency to constituency, writing the manifesto. I applaud that, but I just want to conclude. Let us take it a step further and listen. Put that effort into rewriting our constitution. Have a wonderful day.
You too, sir. Have a good one yourself. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Bye-bye. Thanks so much. 435-2041. We may have the time to accommodate maybe one more caller. We do have another caller via the WhatsApp. Let's go directly. Caller via WhatsApp, you're live. Good morning. Welcome. WhatsApp caller, you're live. Good morning. Guess we may have not getting that connection there with that WhatsApp caller. And looking at the time, we have let me just take this call, and then that will be the caller that will wrap up the call-in segment this morning. WhatsApp caller, you're live. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Jay. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. Let's hear from you. You will be the caller that will wrap today's edition.
Good, nice. I hear a caller call and talk about the builders are causing inflation to go up, and they're charging us so much of money. And, that caller need to understand that physical planning have a schedule that builders can charge you by. It's called by a square foot, right? I think they charge, I want to believe that, $350 for a square foot. A builder can charge you that. He can charge you more if you want to pay more based on the work you're doing, or he can charge you less. So let's say you have a drawing. The drawing is 30 by 30. The builder would multiply 30 by 30 and come up with the square footage, and then multiply it by $350, and then you come up with the sum of money you have to pay to build a house. So builders don't make profit by just saying they make profit. Builders will go there and work hard now, real hard, to make a profit, because why? If they work too slow, they don't work good at all, then they would lose on the job. So the homeowner main priority is that make sure you get quality work for your money. So hence that you sign maybe a deal that any crack on your wall and this and that, any problem in your this, you'll be able to come back and fix it. So you make sure the builder uses the right material, and so on, because why? You want a quality home that will last you a long time. Hence that they build back the project for $500. You could know that $17 million spent on this project there, something is wrong there. Because by the square foot footage, you will realize that they spend too much money there on the small little houses in them. So builders don't really rob people based on like they want to make a profit. You as a homeowner have to understand, you get into a deal with a builder, you have to find out why you charge this money and how you charge this money. You have to understand the whole process before you start to build a house or build any project, as a matter of fact. So builders are inflation not caused by builders doing this. Inflation caused by high energy costs, supply and demand, and supply chain issue. Hence that in Grenada here, most people who have shops and stuff like that, every month they see the current bill go up in the shop. Sometimes they can't pay the current bill because it's too high. So what they would do is that,
caller, when you take another 10 seconds and wrap, we are over time now.
Yeah. They would increase the price on the shelf to make more money, thinking that they will make more money to pay the current bill and pay themselves. But you don't work it that way, because when you raise the price, people stop coming and buy because it's too high. They don't understand that. So the problem that shops are charging so much money for the goods is because the energy costs. They have to pay the current bill every month for that fridge. How much fridge are working there, how much days are working there. It's too high for them. So they're raising the price of the goods on the shelf to pay for it. They don't realize that when they raise the price, people don't come back and buy. So they still don't understand the process. So we have to try to bring down that cost, that energy cost, at any cost, because why, it's too high for our people to pay. Have a nice day, brother.
You too, sir. Have a good one. Have a great weekend to come. Hey, folks, that's how we're going to take a wrap for today's edition of To The Point. Thank all who contributed towards today's edition, our open line edition we certainly had today. Thank you so much. Join me again on Monday of next week for another edition of To The Point. Until then, have a good one, folks. Enjoy your weekend.